Mike, give me 1 second, y'all. I don't know if my volume good. If my volume good, I'm trying to log into this other device. It's just taking too long. Give me 1 second. Is my volume good? I can't even see if anybody on the live screen right now. I'm trying to log in to my other device so I can see the comments. Oh, okay. All right. Let's see what it do. Oh, you can hear me. Peace, my homie. You say you can hear me? And if you can, am I loud and clear? Make sure my mic. Say you can hear me. And if you can, am I loud and clear? Oh, okay. Sound like it's good. Hold on to. Let me share the video before I get started. I'm gonna share the video. Give me a second. I gotta invite some people in. Oh shoot! What am I doing? Yeah, sure. Misha, Travis, Lisa, Yang, Sophie, Irvin, UjamaaCooperative, I'm gonna keep my aunt. Yeah, Damo, Lisa, Toya, Ryan, Tom, Rice. Give me a second. Trying to invite some people in. I can't even remember what that sister name was. Boy. Okay. All right. Peace, Misha. Hey, Yashua. What's the sister name, man? That was in your live feed today. She asked me to tag her in the video. I can go. Let me see if I can go on my other device. But if you still in here, man, type the sister name in here or share the video to her page too. I hate to say I'm gonna do something and then don't do what I say I'm gonna do, but the sister told me to tag her in the video too, and I can't remember what's her name is. Let me stroll through my thing just in case you ain't know. Okay, Ebony. Okay, let's see. Let's see if it's gonna come up. It didn't come up. Joshua, you still in here, man? You still in here, bro? Please share it to her page too. Share it to her page, cause I'm trying to go through here and share, but it's not popping her name up. Sin Robert, can you share? For some odd reason, it's not letting me share it in the in our group. For some reason, it's not coming. Okay, peace, Ebony. Glad you was able to join. I was trying to get you in here here too. But Sin Sean, can you send it to the session? Send it to the our group, because I don't know what's going on. I'm inviting friends, but normally when I hit invite, it asks me to invite friends, and then it asks me for the groups, and it's not even showing the groups on here to any groups on here today. Where I normally share it in the groups, so it's not even showing the groups in here. But Sarah to me, peace, Sinette Sophie. Okay, peace. Appreciate that, Robert. And so if I got a slide on here too, I'm gonna talk about some information on here, but I got a slide on here too, because this thing is about cooperative economics. So which is the Kiswahili word is Ujamaa. So we're going to be talking about one of the Nagu. We're actually going to be talking about all the Naguza Sabos. But I have a slide that's promoting your business on here, because we got to start practice cooperative economics with each other. I thought Sin Sean was going to, not Sin Sean, Sin Sean was going to be in here, so I can get him to share it in the NBA group. He's not in here. But Sin Robert, do me another favor. If you can, share the group in the NBK group. And it's not going to be a long PowerPoint. I'm just going back and redoing a PowerPoint I did yesterday, so I'm going to kind of move kind of fast. But I'm trying to, I've invited people in. I'm trying to do the group thing now. Let me see if I can do it from here, this phone here. Yes. Let's see. All right. I'm going to do it from this group here. NBA Live, NBA here. I've invited people and I'm trying to. Okay. And Sinette Sophie, if you can, share it to your other page, the page that you had. I keep forgetting the name of your page. I think I'm a member of that page. I can't remember right offhand, but if you can share it to your page, I'm finna get ready to get started too, because I need to get started and get off of here. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'm gonna start off with my brother's music. I tried to play his music yesterday, and I tried to play it from my phone, not my phone, but from my laptop, and I had all these devices hooked up, and you couldn't hear my brother's song. So I'm probably gonna start off every time I do a PowerPoint with this song. So I'm gonna start off with this song by Joshua Ashe called Ashe, and then I'll start the PowerPoint. I'm trying to, let me see. Man in the full knowledge of himself. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to connect so y'all can hear the music good, because I love this song. I know y'all gonna love this song by Joshua Ashe called Ashe. So I'm probably gonna open up with this song every time. Is a superb and supreme creature of creation. When man becomes possessor of the knowledge of himself, he becomes master of his environment, the captain of his own ship, the director of his own destiny, the accomplisher of his own ends. Man should understand himself, because man is full of knowledge, and this knowledge is a gift of nature. When Mother Nature created man, she deprived him of nothing. He was given the faculty of understanding all things around him. This faculty for understanding has not been taken away from him. None of his senses have been taken away from him. So there is no excuse for the black man. Raising my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings, salute, now scream. I'm raising my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings, salute, now scream. I should.
It's time out for talking. It's time to beat the street. Salute the ancestors. I'm standing at your feet. And though I'm not perfect, I'm the truth still. Let me give you the red and the blue pill. I'm a born soldier. Studied the divine closure. Before I resurrect, I had the sand cobra. Similar to caterpillars. Living butterfly. Gold after gold. I'm reaching for the sky. Raised in the death culture. I survived prison. You ain't scared to die, but you afraid of living. Oblivion vision won't let you see the head over cancer. The elevation of the black woman is the answer. I know you fed up, but keep your head up. Power in the numbers, multiply the bread truck. It's all about the application of the information. And is it beneficial to the next generation? I'm repping my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings. Salute, now scream, I should. I should. I should. It ain't about the fame, gotta plant the seed. It ain't about the game, gotta do the deed. I'm yelling race first, organize, strategize. All my people pump your fists, that's the battle cry. I ain't teaching no hate, I'm just loving my race. It's false propaganda that they shove in our face. It's making you feel, tell me why you scared. Even time being so emotional to use your head. Check my resume, check my date of birth. I'm a Aquarius, I was born to do the work. Mark Garvey said, rise up, united nation. We the only ones that get us out of the situation. Ain't no feelings in business, I'm trying to be equal. Create a hustle, but spend that money with your people. Ain't no feelings in business, I'm trying to be equal. Create a hustle, but spend that money with your people. I'm repping my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings. Salute, now scream, I should. I should. I'm repping my team, red, black, and green, queens and kings. Salute, now scream, I should. I should.
All right, I just wanted to play my bro song, man. That song amped me up every day, man. It's called Ashe by Joshua Ashe. So I'll probably be my opening song every time I do a PowerPoint and go out and support that brother. One of his slides, I had one of his business slides on here as well as his album slide on here as well. So peace. I see some new people came in. Peace Hall, Elijah. Peace, bro Mike, if you still on here. Peace, Charles. Peace, Alvin. Peace, Consta. Peace, Brianna. I always have to speak to those who come on. Peace to y'all. Again, this is a redo. I did this PowerPoint. Well, before I even get started, let me go ahead. ETM Hotep, Duau, Aku, Rini, Kofi Paisai, or Igungun, Kiki, Igungun, Majube, Iba, E, which basically I said are two different languages. Welcome in peace or peace family. I always want to welcome in peace. Don't want to welcome in no negativity. So I always want to welcome in peace. That's what ETM Hotep means. I said Duau to the Aku, which is thanks or praise to the ancestors. The same thing when I said Igungun, Kiki, Igungun, or Majuba, Iba, Igun, Majuba, Iba, E, which is the same thing. I praise the ancestor. I give honor and reverence to the ancestors. I have to do that because, again, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the ancestors. Literally, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the ancestors. All right. I apologize. I came on earlier today. I apologize because I did this presentation, which this presentation is a follow-up from the presentation I did on Sunday called Kwanzaa. I did a PowerPoint presentation on Kwanzaa to explain what Kwanzaa is. And Kwanzaa is not a black Christmas. It's a holiday that has been celebrated through time immemorial before the invention of a Christmas. So, and I was just trying to explain, if we trying to further get away from other people, cultures, and tradition, and we're trying to gravitate back to our own heritage and start celebrating the things that that we have. It's okay for us to start back to grabbing back our own traditions and celebrating our traditions. So check out the Kwanzaa video. The Kwanzaa video is also from December, the Kwanzaa is from December 26th to December 27th. And one of the principles, each day is a different principle. So this principle is on the fourth day, which will be the 26th, 7th, 8th, is the 29th, which the fourth day is called Ujamaa in Swahili. Swahili, the word Ujamaa means cooperative economics. So it's important that we have to start to support one another and practice cooperative economics, or practice Ujamaa, which is one of the Nguzo Sabos, or one which is the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, which we need to implement and practice those in the black community every day. And I'm gonna go back through the Nguzo Sabos, which is the 7 principles that is founded around Kwanzaa. And I wanted to use the 4th one, but in order for us to activate the 4th one, we have to be able to practice and do those other 6 that's with the cooperative economics. So again, I apologize for the video on yesterday. It cut out halfway through the video, and I went back and looked at what was on there. It was glitching and rebooting, so I had to come back and do it because I feel like this PowerPoint is an important PowerPoint, especially when it's dealing with our community. And I'm talking about the black community, because we don't understand cooperative economics, but every other race understand cooperative economics and practice cooperative economics, but we do not practice cooperative economics. So this presentation is cooperative economics, Kwanzaa, Ujamaa, cooperative economics. So this is day 4, which is which would be December 29th if you celebrate Kwanzaa. But again, you don't have to celebrate Kwanzaa in order to implement these 7 principles into our lives, into our families, into our communities, into our states, into our countries. This here is, as I learn, we all learn. This is a saying that I like to say: as I learn, we all learn. And we should all be like that. As we learn things, we should share the information with other people. So as I learn, we all learn. Be on the lookout too for "as I learn, we all learn" t-shirts. Okay, I always have to give a disclaimer before I get started. So this is my disclaimer. I am not a teacher, but merely a student sharing information, and the information provided for this educational purpose is for educational purpose only. And if you are in doubt, do the research or have it verified by someone qualified. I reserve the rights to change the focus of this presentation, to shut down or sell or exchange the terms of the use at my own discretion. All trademarks, designs, rights, copyrights, registered names, motto, logos, avatars, the signals, and marks used or cited by this website or the property of their respective owners. I reserve the right to add information as it comes available and or adapt changes, improve information as it comes available in the future. Inputs wanted, changes, addition, deletions, and encouraged. So I'm letting you know that I am not above critique. I do not know everything. So I welcome all information. If it's something I left out, if it was something that wasn't correct, if it was something that some information that I didn't have, some new information that surfaced that I need to add, I don't mind making a change. That's why I said adapt to a change, of improving the information as it comes available in the future. inputs and changes, so I want input. So at the end of the video, my PowerPoints, I always put my references. So you can go and look at the references. I have plethora of references when I do my PowerPoints, and you can scrutinize and go through all and vent through all those references that I use to compilate and put this PowerPoint presentation together. So I always have to give a disclaimer before I get started. All right. Now, the lifespan of $1 in Asia, in the Asian community, is $28. In the Jewish community, the lifespan of $1 is, hold on, let me start over. The lifespan of $1 in the Asian community, and we're talking about the Asian community over here, the Asians that are over here. So the lifespan of $1 in the Asian community is 28 days. In the Jewish community, the lifespan of $1 is 19 days. And the lifespan of the white community or the European community, the lifespan of the dollar is 17 days. In the African American community, approximately it is approximately 6 hours according to the NAACP article. Reach writers use several sources. So this in the Asian community, the Asians that are over here, their dollar bill circulates in their community 28 times, 28 days, 28 days before it leaves out of the community. In the Jewish community, the dollar bill circulates in their community 19 days before it goes out of their community. In the European or the white community, it circulates 17 days. The so-called African American or the African in America, which that's what should it be, Africans in America, the community is approximately 6 hours. So time we get our money, we spend our money with other people that do not look like us. We continue to make other people rich. We continue to make people rich where they're able to pass generational wealth down to their family, to people that look like them. So they understand about cooperative economics. They understand that they have to buy with their own people. We are the only people that does not support our own people. We not only people do not understand we have to take care of home first and then take care of everybody else. We have to love ourselves first and then love everybody else afterwards. Meaning we have to take care of our race first and then take care of everybody else. We should love our race first and then love everybody else second. We should be pro-black first. And when I say pro-black, a lot of people tends to say that, you know, these are people that don't know no better, that this is a racist statement, when every other group understand that they have to be race first. We just gave you where the Asian community don't even deal with you until after 28 days. They circulate the dollar bill in that community. They go support their own businesses in their own community. The Jewish community over here too. The the European culture over here too. The Arabs that over here in our neighborhood that set up stores in our neighborhood. What you think they do with their money? They take their money and they send their money back home to support their own, to support their own families. They spend their money with their own people. So we have to be the same. And the several sources and this article that says the African Americans dollar bill only searched 6 hours according to one of these articles. Do I agree with that? No, I don't agree with 6 hours, but I do know that our dollar bill is not making a full circle. Circulation is a circle. So I know that once we get our money, we take our money and we go spend it with somebody that does not look like us, somebody that's already rich. We go spend it. We don't circulate the dollar bill in our community because we don't understand if we continue to circulate the dollar in our community and build our community up, we're able to provide better jobs for our own people. We're able to come together and build our own business, so we can stop being subservient. Because we think that, and it's this plantation behavior, we think that we're supposed to have a job. We're supposed to go on a 9 to 5 and work for somebody for breads and crumbs where we barely making it, and the individual we're working for is wealthy. And they are passing generational wealth down from one family to the next family and leaving something for their family. But us as black people, we don't understand that. We think that it's good to be subservient and go work for somebody for crumbs and nickels. So these are some of the statistics or some of the business used to keep track of black-owned businesses as well as white-owned business. So they did a statistic to see how much was the black community actually spending with their own people, and how much money was other races spending with their own race first before the dollar bill goes out their community with somebody else. So the Federal Reserve Bank, the Bureau of Labor Statistics, the Small Business Administration keep track of all black-owned businesses and all produce reports on black spending patterns. Also, private research organizations such as the Nielsen, the Minority Business Development Agencies, and the Chicago-based Target News also track black spending patterns. Family studies prove that less than 3% out of 1 trillion is in buying power, what makes it back to the communities via spending with our businesses. So it's telling you that it's only 3% of the money we are the biggest, the black people in America. I'm talking about us, family. We is the biggest consumers in the world. We spend $1.1 trillion a year, but we at the bottom of the totem pole. Hence, we are at the end of the race, hence the race. Every other race is propelling. It's selling, but we are at the bottom of the race because we don't understand cooperative economics. We don't understand unifying. We don't understand unison. We don't understand building our own community. We love to go spend money with other people that don't give a damn about us, take their money and take it back into their own community and continue to build their community and pass down generational wealth from one place to the next. So it's insane to me for us to be at the last of the race, hence the race, the black people, and we is the biggest consumers in the world, and we barely got a pot to piss in and a window to throw it out, but we at $1.1 trillion in buying power. That is crazy, but we say we ain't got no money. So we have to understand cooperative economics. According to the research, 43 blacks have spending power amount of $1.1 trillion, which each man, woman, and child an annual spending of $26,200. Blacks spend their money overwhelmingly with white businesses as following products. And again, we spend our money with other people besides spending money with ourselves. And with those that just came on, I showed a slide where the dollar bill circulates in other people's community. In the Jewish community, it circulates 19 times before it goes out of their community. So they're spending money with their own community first before they go out. 19 days before the Jewish money dollar bill goes outside of it. The white community or the European community, it circulates in their community 17 days before it goes out of their community and spent with somebody else. So they're supporting their own people. The Asian that's over here 29 times. Circulate its dollar bill 29 times, 29 days, I mean, before it goes out of their community and spend it with somebody else. But black folks, it says 6 hours. 6 hours. That means times we get paid. Boom, we off to the mouth. We off to doing this. And we have 1.1 trillion spending powers, dollars. And we, as the last of the race, we don't have nothing. We don't own nothing. But we was the biggest consumers in the world. So look at what we're spending our money on. Nothing that's going to help our community. Nothing that's it's going to help our families. None. Tobacco, $3.3 billion. Whiskey, wine, and beer, because we know we love whiskey, beer, and wine. We love getting intoxicated. $3 billion. We spend $3 billion on whiskey, wine, and beer a year, just a year. Leisure time spending, 3.1. We know we love our leisure time. We go out and do all types of things, just wasting money. $3.1 billion. Toys, games, and pets. Some things that time we buy for our kids, next week is tore up, so there's money wasted. And again, the toys that we spend and the games we spend, we go spend money on toys that don't even look like us. And you know why they pick the toys that don't look like them? Because they hate themselves. We hate ourselves subconsciously. We have been taught to hate ourselves. So we buying things that is irrelevant, that we don't need, is not going to help us as a collective effort, as a community, as a family. So $3.5 billion. Gifts, $10 billion. Charity contributions, $17.3 billion. And a lot of, when we dealing with, and nothing wrong with doing with charity, but we have the biggest issues right now. We have the African in America has the biggest issue. And I can run down so many different stats and statistics of how many problems we have going on in our community and our family. But we will donate charitable events that has nothing to do with us, nothing to do with our well-being as a community-based family. Nothing. $17.3 billion. Healthcare, $23.6 billion. We have $1.1 trillion of spending power, and we as the poorest, we the damn near the poorest race right now. This here is an assertion I took. This is an interview. This is an interview that I took. I didn't take the whole interview. Type the whole interview. So this is a assertion from an interview from a Jewish leader about black people. This is what the interviewer said. He said, "Why are blacks so behind economically?" The Jewish leader. This is what the Jewish leader said. He said, "Only the only aspects black understand is consumption. That's all we know. We love to spend things on stuff that is irrelevant to helping us or irrelevant to our life. We love to spend our money on nonsense stuff to make us feel good." But I understand why we do that, because we've been taught to self-hate ourselves. We've been enslaved over here for over 200 and some years by the European. We have been enslaved 1,200 years before the Atlantic slave trade during the 1400s by the Arab. And so we have been enslaved for so long, and we have been taught that we are nothing, we come from nothing. So we go and spend our money on nonsense just to make us feel so good. So I understand that, but we got to do better. Blacks don't understand the importance of building wealth. This is what the Jewish leader is saying. Blacks, the fundamental rules is to keep your money within your racial group. I'm gonna say that one more time. Blacks, the fundamental rules is to keep your money within your racial group. So I showed a slide a while ago and just explained again a while ago how many times the dollar bill circulate in different people's community before it goes out, and show you how many times I don't even say circulate, because it says 6 hours in the black community. That means that we don't spend our money with our own people. We don't build with our own people. We don't support our own people. You know what I'm saying? We go out and support people that's already rich, that does not look like us. So we don't even the dollar bill time we get it is gone. So we don't understand wealth. We don't understand cooperative economics. And I'm gonna say it again. Blacks, the fundamental rules is to keep your money within your own racial group. We build Jewish businesses, hire Jewish, buy Jewish, and spend Jewish. This is what the Jewish leader is saying. This is what every other race is doing. This is what they're doing. They build their own Jewish businesses. They hire their own people. They spend money with their own people. They buy from their own people. This is a concept that every other race understand and grasp except us. We have to do better, family. We have to do better. The leaders steal from their people and spend the money. Hold on. When we hire, we spend with Jews. There is nothing wrong with that, but it's a basic rule blacks cannot comprehend or follow. Their leaders steal from their people and send the money back to the colony master from whom they borrow the same money from. Of course, our so-called leaders that we don't even, which is crazy, a lot of the black leaders in our communities now that we're running to, who made them leaders? Did the black community as a whole select these individuals to be our leaders? No, they did not. We let the people, the very people that are oppressing us and keeping a foot over our necks and creating all types of laws and have sophisticated slavery. They have sophisticated where we think that we are free when we're not. Well, you know, we let them pick our leaders. We let them pick our leaders, so we have to do better on that as well. They go on holidays abroad, buy houses abroad, schools abroad, etc., instead of spending this money in their own country to benefit their people. And with that statement, whether you call yourself an African or not, you African. The whole humanity started, and most people follow different types of religions. And specifically here in North America, I know a bunch of our people is consumed in Christianity. And in your book, it says that humanity started in the Garden of Eden is in the Pison, the Gishon, the Tigris, and the Euphrates River. The four riverheads creates the Garden of Eden. So when you look at the Tigris and the Euphrates River, which is in the so-called Middle East, it's no such thing as the Middle East. The Middle East was coined in 1901. But we think Middle East is an ancient term that people come from. But this was coined in 1901. It's a modern term. But you got those two rivers, and then you got the Pishon and the Gishon, which is the Nile River. The Blue Nile and the White Nile, the Gishon and the Pishon, the four riverheads that creates the Garden of Eden. So we know humanity started in Africa. So we are descendants from Africa. Our country is Africa. The Asian, he comes from Asia. Japanese know his country is Japan. The Chinese, China. The Arab know he's from Arabia, different parts of Arabia, etc. So they understand. They take their money and then they send money back home. The Arabs over here, what you think the Arabs do with their money? They send it back to the homeland to help the homeland over there. Every other race, even the European is over here that's doing the same thing. We have to do better. Family, cooperative economics is a very much so needed in the Black community. Harambe, which is a Swahili word, which means we are pulling together. And we have to learn how to pull together. And one of this presentation is a follow-up of the Kwanzaa presentation. If you haven't looked at my Kwanzaa presentation, go back on my page, look at the Kwanzaa presentation, share it on your page. It is full of information, and we know it's surrounded by the 7 principles of the Nguzo Saba, which is the 7 principles. And the 4th principle is cooperative economics. So, and the first principle is called Ujamaa, which means unity. So in order, and that's why I'm going to say that we have to learn, we have to practice all those 7 principles in order for cooperative economics to work. In order for cooperative economics to work. Harambe means we are pulling together. So we have to learn how to become one. We have to be able to pull together. We have to get out of the European ideology thinking that we are individuals. That is what's messing up our community, because we don't care about nobody but ourselves. This is not the way of life that we come from. We come from tribe. We come from tribalism. We understand that if I got it, we got it. That's why I made a statement earlier, and I'm gonna give another old African saying. But I say, as I learn, we all learn. I'm not thinking about myself. I'm thinking about us as a whole. So whatever I learn, I'm going to share it with my family. Definitely, if I know it's going to be beneficial to me and beneficial to everybody else that looks like me. I understand this concept. Everybody else, every other race understand this concept, but Black people. Umanja, the cooperative economics, is a 4th Nguzo Saba, which I mean it's a Swahili word, which means 7 principles of Kwanzaa, or Black values. It's stated on the Kwanzaa PowerPoint presentation video, we must apply the application, meaning we must apply those 7 principles in our life in order for us to also be successful as well, in order to activate cooperative economics. Because if we don't have unity, how do you think we're going to spend with each other? We don't have self-determination about each other. How are we going to support each other and pull together and pull our resources together and build a mighty community and a mighty nation if we don't have some of those things? And that's some of the values that I'm talking about. Okay, we must become practitioners of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa, of the Black value system, every day, and not on the several days Kwanzaa, in which December the 26th through January the 1st. We know Kwanzaa is celebrated December the 26th through January the 1st, which is 7 days Kwanzaa is celebrated, and each day has a different principle that represents that you represent on each day, and it stands for something on each day. These are the principles that I said we don't have to practice Kwanzaa on these days and recite these things when we're practicing or celebrating Kwanzaa. These things we should apply these values every day. Every day we should apply them to in our communities, in our household, when we're traveling places. We should be practitioners of these things. We cannot practice cooperative economics without the other principles. Now let's relook at the 7 of them real quick on another slide. Okay, and I gave these, and I gave a better one on my Kwanzaa presentation. So go back and go on my timeline and check out my Kwanzaa presentation and share it to your page. Okay, the first one I mentioned, the value is called unity. And this word in Swahili, it means umanja. Umanja means unity. And it says unity stresses the importance of togetherness for the family and the community. So if we don't have unity, and unity is not the important thing in our community, we're going to continue to be at the end of the race. So we can't even practice cooperative economics if we ain't unified, if it's not the top priority in the Black community. Get out of the individual thing. This is a European concept. You come from a place, again, where we did not accept ourselves as individuals. We were all brothers and sisters. We was all family. We was all companions. But now we will walk past another Black man and Black woman like we don't even know them. But anybody else, we walk, how you doing, sir? How you doing, ma'am? How are you doing? We speak, but we won't even speak to each other. So we have to have unity and cooperative economics and building our economics up and building something where we can leave generational wealth down. We can't pass it down if we don't have unity. This is one of the values. Another one, Kuji-cha gulia. Kuji-cha gulia, which means, it's a Swahili word that means self-determination. Self-determination requires that we define our common interests and make decisions that are in the best interest of our family and our community. That's powerful. Did you hear what that said? It said it requires that we define our common interests and make decisions that are in the best interest of our family. It didn't say the best interest of my sister, just my sister. It didn't say the best interest of just my cousin. It says family and community. And that's what I'm saying. We don't even think we family anymore. We look alike, but we don't even think we family. We hate ourselves subconsciously. We have to get out of that. But again, I understand that this is via slavery. We are still suffering from post-traumatic slavery disorder. And when we was free in so-called 1865, we never went through any type of therapy. And we know if you go over there and you serve in the war, which I am against, people may say I'm bad for this, but wrong for this. But I don't want my son to go and serve in a war. That serve in the war to continue to go over there and become a killer, become a terrorist, and go over there and rape the resources, kill and slaughter everything to rape the resources because it's been propaganda pushed so we can go over there and fight to keep the people that's in power, that's own this country. So we just have to we have to do better. Ujamaa is another Swahili word. It means, this is the third principle. It means collective work and responsibility. Ujamaa, collective work and responsibility, reminds us of our obligation to the past, the present, and the future, and that we have a role to play in our community. We all have a role to play in our community, societies, and the world. But we're not even setting the example. That's why the youth don't respect us. And we around here talking about the youth. We're talking about the youth. But they got every right to talk about us. We have failed them. We don't fail the youth. Because we're not setting the example in our communities. We're not passing generational wealth down from one generation to the next. We're not employing our own people. We're not being positive. We're not combating the self-hate that we've been taught. We are indulging in other people's culture and telling them to forget about their culture, because the people that teaches us, the school system that we send our kids to, is the very system, the very people that created is the same people that sanctioned the Atlantic slave trade. So we letting the oppressor teach our kids. So they teaching us to demonize the culture that we come from and follow their culture. We got to do better. Nia, purpose. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm yelling. I'm getting all passionate because I know we can do better, man. And I know where we come from. I know what type of people we come from before slavery. And we got to start asking questions. What were our people doing before slavery? What were we doing for slavery? We around here calling ourselves kings and queens, but we don't act like kings and queens. We act like niggas. We act like whores. We act like sluts. And that's in that vernacular that we take. We calling each other the B words, and women calling each other B's. So when you speak it, you actually believe that you are a B. When we around here calling ourselves niggas, we actually think that we niggas when we know this word is a negative word. But we around here calling each other niggas. But we know we are descendants from kings and queens. We are descendants from priests, high priests, and priestesses. We know we are descendants of master builders. We know we are descendants from master architecture. We know we are descendants from people who invented writing and We know we are descendants of people who created arithmetic, animal husbandry. You see, created astrology, created these such things as religions today through our spiritual systems. We created all those things, but people stole it and took it from us. And now we have adapted to their way. We have to get back to where get back to our own culture and our own tradition. We must raise up to who we are. Nia, which is another principle. It is called purpose in Swahili. Purpose encourages us to look within ourselves and set personal goals that are beneficial to the community. I'm going to read that again. Purpose. We got to have a purpose. Black people, we have to have a purpose. And that is encouraging us to look within ourselves and set a personal goal that is beneficial for the community. It didn't say beneficial for yourself. It didn't say beneficial for yourself. It said beneficial for us. Because, again, we come from a place, if I make it, we all make it. But, again, we have adapted it to the European or the Wanzugu or the Yupu of way of life. We know we have been indoctrinated, so we're following their way and their perspective. Their culture teaches this, but we didn't come from this type of culture. So we have to be community-based again. We no longer have to think just about ourselves. We have to think about the community. So when I make it, we all make it. So now I got to go. That's what I was saying yesterday, which is A backwards to me. We think once we make it, we're supposed to leave the community that we was raised up in. Oh, I done made it. And then you go over into another community where they don't even want you at. Then you spend your money over there in the community that don't want you over there and don't really care about you. And you forget about the people over there, and you don't come back and teach them what you did in order to get out of there. Or you don't come back if you have money and build in your community. You leave and don't come back, and you think you come and you give them a turkey on this certain call. I call it Thanks Harbor Day. You call it Thanksgiving. But you give it, he's the best. He comes and he gives out turkey. Oh, he came to the school and he gave out bikes on so-called Christmas. I mean, we have to do better. Kuamba is a Swahili word which means creativity, which is another principle. Creativity makes us creative energy to build and maintain a strong and vibrant community. So we have to be creative. So we have to be creative, and we have to create things in our own community. We have to build up our own community. The last principle is Imani, which is faith. Imani, faith, forces of honor, the best of our traditions. Draw upon the best in ourselves and help us strive for a higher level of life of humankind, and by a far of our self-worth and confidence in our ability to succeed and triumph in righteousness and struggle. So we can't operate cooperative economics and start to generate wealth in our community and circulate the dollar in our community more than 6 hours when I gave you all the other people that's here circulating the dollar 28 days, 17 days, 19 days, 16 days before it goes out of their community. They spend money with their own people before they spend it with anybody else, because they understand it's about cooperative economics. It's building for your people, making sure that your people is not without. And this here is an old saying right here. It's an old African saying. And I keep saying we, because we have to get back to we and get out of the concept of individuality when we're all family. This is why we're at the bottom of the race, hence the race. This is why black people don't have anything, don't own anything. So we have to get back in the we. And this is an old African saying. It says, I am we. I am because we are. I am we. Or I am because we are. Powerful. Now, I just had to go through that real quick to give you an understanding of cooperative economics, that you wouldn't take my word for it. So I have to show you the stats and show you the different businesses that is tracking. And I gave you maybe 10 different businesses that is tracking the black business dollar, and they're calculating through statistics how much we are supporting our own people and how much the dollar is circulated in our own community. But they're also tracking the Jewish over here. They're tracking the Arab that's over here. They're tracking the European that's over here. They're tracking the Asian, the Pakistani, the Indian, and they're using the stats, and they are all supporting themselves. They are supporting themselves. I bet you if you go to the Asians that we spend billions of dollars with when we getting our nails and our hair eyebrows, you see what I'm saying? And we go to their stores and we get the weaves so we can put the weaves and stuff in our hair. Go buy all that stuff. Go to their companies. Go to these Asian companies that you get your nails and your hair and your eyelashes arched, and tell them that, okay, whatever you're spending for your product, I'm going to lower it. Watch what they tell you. Watch what they tell you. They understand cooperative economics. Watch what they tell you. So I had to walk you through to give you understanding before I go through these other things to show you how to support, because I understand this is the holidays. And I understand some of us are still wrapped up in the Christmas thing. And it's okay. It's okay, because I understand that even if we want to get out of their tradition, because Christmas is wrapped in European philosophy. It is wrapped in what y'all would call pagan. All these things, when you're dealing with the tree and the mistletoe and the things on it and different things to celebrate it, it's all European. And at one time they didn't like it. They banned it. Christmas was illegal here. Do the research. Christmas was illegal in England first, and the people that came over here that slaughtered the Indians, what we call the Pilgrims, which is the Puritans. You can go back and look at my video called "The True Origin of Thanksgiving," and I show you who the Pilgrims are, which are the Puritans, which are the Protestant Christians, or the radical Protestant Christians that changed their name to the Puritans. And when they came over here in Plymouth Rock, they in Massachusetts. This is the whole thing, but go back and look at it. That's why I said when I know things, I'm gonna share information. But anyway, we have to go back and grab our own culture as well. So even with grabbing our own culture, if you celebrate Christmas, okay, bypass the mall. Bypass the mall and go in your community. If you have to drive an hour to a black-owned business, go to a black-owned business and support the black-owned business. So I had to show these other slides to set up to make you want to go and support these people that I'm finna show and advertise the products that they have. And these could be great Christmas gifts if you celebrate Christmas. These could be great Kwanzaa gifts, because Kwanzaa, again, is not a black Christmas. It is a African tradition that has been celebrated through time immemorial before the invention of Christmas. Before the invention of Christmas. So Kwanzaa is not a made-up holiday. And if you want more information on that, go back on my video that I did on Sunday, and it'll show you that I show you different African countries, different African tribes, and I gave you the tribes and I gave you the name. They didn't call it Kwanzaa. They call it by other different names, but they celebrate coming together. Different countries, different nations coming together, unifying for one collective goal. They unified together, went out there and harvested. And then at the end of the year, they reap the benefits from their harvest because they pull together. I gave you the Kiswahili word, which means habaru, which means pulling together. Then I gave you the Ujamaa, which means unity. So we can't have cooperative economics if we're not unified, if we're not pulling our resources together and building together and then reaping the benefits as a whole and not as an individual. So I had to walk you through all this stuff and show you how we are spending $1.1 trillion. We spend $1.1 trillion a year. And we are the poorest race on the planet. And I had to show you how other races are spending their dollar bill for so many days in their community because they understand cooperative economics. And I had to show you a Jewish leader being interviewed and talking about black folks not knowing economics because they don't want to spend money with their own race. But every other race understand this concept and grasp this concept, and this is why they are selling. They are perpetuating, and this is why they are leaving generational wealth down from one generation to the next. So I had to paint all this in these slides so I can get you to understand about cooperative, get you to understand about cooperative economics. You said peace, Alfred, peace in it, Lisa, peace Antoine, peace Skype, M. Haru, peace Alfred, peace in Sean, peace Damo. I'm sorry I didn't speak a while ago. Peace cuz, that's Trisha, if you still on here. Peace Freddie Fred. I'm sorry. I normally try to stay on top of this when people come into the live feed. I always try to shout them out. Peace, bro Dexter. Peace to you. So I had to walk you and paint you through these things So now you can go back and support these people and bypass these malls and support black-owned businesses. And again, this is surrounded around the theme of the presentation. It's called cooperative economics. The Swahili word is Ujamaa, which is one of the 7 principles. So I had to walk you through the other 7 principles, because we can't activate cooperative economics if we don't understand the 7 principles and be practitioners of those 7 principles. And we don't have to talk about these principles and implement these principles only December the 26th through January the 1st. We need to implement them in our community now. We need to buy black. We need to build black. We need to support black. We need to love black. We need to build up the black community. So we need to circulate the dollars in our own community like every other race is doing. So we need to understand what is cooperative economics. So I walk you all through this so I can walk you through these other slides. So for those that are wrapped up in Christmas, again, wrapped up in somebody else's tradition, but if you're going to celebrate it and you're giving gifts, I'm going to give you things of books, because we need, I'm not only books, but I'm going to give clothes, because I know we like to get jiggy with it. We like to get fly, lit, all these different words. So I'm going to give you clothes, shoes, and books that are good Christmas gifts as well as good Kwanzaa gifts. And Kwanzaa, again, is not a black Christmas, because Kwanzaa existed way before the invention of Christmas. I have to keep saying it. And on the last day of Kwanzaa, which is January the 1st, which is Imani, which means faith, you give out what we call Zawada. Zawada is presents. And the first gift you have to give before you give anything is books. Books. So we can continue to expand the scope of our knowledge and stop staying in one paradigm or leaving our information in one parameter when there's plethora of information outside of the lit scope that we have. So that is one thing that we have to give is books. Then we can give the rest of the Zawada, which is gifts. So I'm going to show you books, clothing, shoes, hat, jackets, and etc. So you can go online, and I'm going to give you some of the brick and mortars, and you can go to these places and buy from your people. Support your own people. Stop supporting people that don't look like you, don't care about you. And they telling you that we don't understand cooperative economics. We are failing as a race. We don't have a pot to piss in because we don't support each other. So this first slide is from Universal Chemic Press. All of these books on this screen I own, except the African K-12 School. But the Bach book, I own it. The African Time, I own it. The Saber, the Ma'at book, are all great books. These are good books you can put up under your tree. You can put in your stuffing stockings if you celebrate Christmas. If you celebrate Kwanzaa. The last day of Kwanzaa, you can give the most important gift is a book. So these are good books that you can give to those that practice Kwanzaa, those that has reached back and started to gravitate toward their own traditions and leaving the European tradition. And I know that we're trapped in Christmas and we don't understand Christmas. And even if we want to get out of it, we understand that we're dealing with psychological warfare. We want to understand and gravitate toward our traditions, but the TV during this time is invading our homes. We turn on the TV because a lot of us watch a whole lot of TV, and we looking at commercials, and these commercials is bombarding us, and they are bombarding us about the business. These businesses have, we having these holiday sales. You don't want to miss these holiday sales. Peace, Julia Lander. I'm sorry. So we understand that they are embedding it into our subconscious. If you understand what the subconscious does, and how the subconscious record things, and how you can react on certain things, that the subconscious start to react on the things that has been programmed in the subconscious mind. So we out getting in debt. So we are running around. Whoa, we getting in debt. When January come, we trying to worry about how we gonna pay the light bill, how we gonna pay the car note, because we got to hire the car, because they gonna come pick it up because we done spent all our money for Christmas. And we don't understand Christmas is surrounded around the economics of business that may not be prevailing during the year, but the statistics show at a certain point of the year, which is the end of the year, that this is where the business make all their money at. So whatever Christmas was supposed to be, it's not what it is. And even what it's supposed to be, it's not rooted in what the culture you come from. It's rooted in Slavic, Germanic, Roman, and Greek culture. So it has really nothing to do with us. But if you celebrate it and we say it's the time of giving, don't credit and give it to a white Santa Claus, somebody that you giving credit to for gifts that you're getting. But this is a whole other story. I'm not trying to go on a rant, but these are good gifts right here. But this here is a great gift to go up under your tree, go in your stocking stuffing, to go a great gift if you celebrate Kwanzaa. And again, on the last day of Kwanzaa is the day that you give presents. Kwanzaa is 7 days. The last day is Imani, and you give Zawada, which is presents. So Mail Track 1 DVD, Mail Track 2 DVD. They got the Mail Track coloring books, the Mail Track posters. They got the Mail Track shirts. They got the Mail Cap hats. And these are the websites. Let me go back. This is the website for United Kemet Press. So go and support. This is the website. You pause it. You write it down, and then you go on their website and you support this black-owned business. Here is another one I just gave with the DVDs. These DVDs is very important for your kids. Very educational for your kids as well as the grown-ups, because a lot of us don't even know who we are. A lot of us don't. So these are great stocking stuffers for those that celebrate Christmas and those that have gravitated back to their African culture and celebrating their own traditions. These are good gifts. Good gifts. So support this sister and her business partners. Anime, where learning is fun. And this is the website. Pause it when you go back. Support this black-owned business, because this is something that it's not going to be torn up. This is something that you can take with you for the rest of your life when you look at these videos and you being educated and you expanding your mind. So support them. This is something that she's giving, and it's an equal exchange. You're not paying for something and feel like you're going to be cheated. You're not. It's an equal exchange. That's what relationships are about, equal exchange. I give you something and you give me something in return. This is an equal exchange. Here, you have, I own these 2 books as well. Aaron Knows About Africa, by Benjamin Now and Nagami. I can't hardly read that, but Benjamin Now. The Perceptions, and excuse me, and it's another writer. Excuse me for the other writer that I'm not getting your name right, because I'm gonna tear it up, and I didn't blow the book up that big. And this is Perception of the Misleading Africa, Volume 1 of poetry, a poetry novel by Elama Niles. And these are husband and wife. They both have works out there. So support them. Again, these are good Christmas presents for those that celebrate Christmas, and for those that celebrate Kwanzaa. I'm going to keep specifying that Kwanzaa, you give the Zawaras the gifts on the last day of Kwanzaa, which is the 7th day, and the most important gifts before you give any other gifts are books. So these are good Kwanzaa gifts. All right. I just said Aaron Knows About Africa. And I said Benjamin Now and another author at the top of it as well. Hold on, y'all. At the top as well. And this brother that did that book, he has a clothing line. Again, we say we got sauce. I'm using all these different words. We like to get lit. We like to look fly. We like to look jiggy, right? So he has something called Panther wear. He has the Panther tennis shoes over here in the corner. Right here, he has the fitted caps, because we love our fitted caps. He has the Panther wear t-shirts. He has this nice Panther wear jacket over here. So his website is down right now, but you can inbox him on his inbox messenger, Benjamin Now, and support this brother and buy some of this stuff from this brother. We have to start practicing cooperative economics. All right. Here is another one. These are different books. These are educational books right here. Books are authored by Aku Aguza. This is the website right here. When you go back, pause it, and go and support this black-owned business and buy these books. She has different books. These are books for the kids. Again, this is an equal exchange. This is an equal exchange. You giving them money and they giving you some and value of that money, something that's worth more than this dollar bill, this piece of paper. And it is these books are very educational. I just did a presentation on Marcus Garvey. And a lot of people over here don't even know who Marcus Garvey is. And we know about Martin Luther King. We know about the Elijah Muhammad. We know about Malcolm X. We know about all these Sir John of Truth. But a lot of these people I'm talking about was influenced by Marcus Garvey. But we don't know who Marcus Garvey is. And this man has done something ain't nobody else did, who created an organization, a Pan-African organization, or an organization for black people. He did something without the internet. He did something without a cell phone, an iPad. The UNIA was worldwide. There wasn't no phones, no internet, there was none of these things. So support this black-owned business. The website is up here. These are nice books for those that celebrate Christmas. And these are nice gifts for those who have gravitated back to their own traditions and celebrating Kwanzaa. And this is a great gift for Kwanzaa on the last day of Kwanzaa, which is Imani, which is the most important gift. The Zawada is the most important out of all the gifts, which is books. All right. Again, I'm going to keep flopping from books to clothing to shoes because I know we like to get jiggy. So here is another one. You don't have to go to the mall and support them no more. You can support your own people like the other races are supporting their own people. They understand and practicing cooperative economics. So we have to start to practice cooperative economics and circulate the dollar bill in our community before it leaves off and go anywhere else. We have to build up our own community first. Support our own people. We have to come together in unity. Pull out all our resources together and build for all of us. Not just for my immediate family, but for the whole community. So this is Abjuware. This is the website up here, abjuware.com. So you can pause it when you get a chance to pause it and support these people. These are good Christmas gifts for those that celebrate Christmas. This is great gifts for those who celebrate Kwanzaa, who's retrieving their own African traditions and trying to get away from the European tradition. So you have the fly for the women. You know, we have the sandals because you know that's in now. I see us wearing the sandals. We dressed up and we got the flip flops. I'm country, so I'm saying flip flops. I'm country. I'm from Mississippi, so I'm saying flip flops. So you got the nice flip flops because I'm country. I know y'all be talking about me. You have the nice flip flops here with the African continent in the middle of it with the Pan-African colors, the red, black, and green. And again, the red, black, and green, we should all pledge allegiance to the red, black, and green. This is our flag. Our flag. This flag is not wrapped up in racism. It's not wrapped up in racism. So this is a nice pair of flip-flops. We know we love our Air Max. Look at the Air Africans right here. Hold on, let me go. The Air Africans. If you can see my cursor, the Air Africans right there. Look at the Air Africans. Look at the RBGs. Look at them bad boys right there. Them RBGs right there. Look at that. Look at the Nat Turners. The Nat Turner Max. Look at the Nat Turners. Look at the fly Adidas right here. Then you got another pair. Then you got the shirts. You know, we love the polo shirts. We love the polo. Get these polos. Because we know Polo don't give a damn about you. He said that Ralph Lawrence already said he didn't make clothes for black people. And I used to be the polo king. For those that know me know that every time I came out, I had a polo cap, I had on a polo shirt, and I had on the polo belt and the polo pants. And I ain't gonna lie, I still got about four or five pair of polo shoes back there because I used to buy just clothes and shoes over all the time. So I used to think that was the most important thing, but it's not. And I just take care of my stuff, but it's back there. But Ralph Lawrence said he didn't make clothes for black people. So if you're gonna wear a polo, wear the Sarah. I wish I would have blew it up. And for those who know about the Sesh Metaneta. I'm a part of a group called Seshuma Ani Metaneta. We're going to get in that in a minute. And we learn how to speak the Rani Kemet, which is the language in North Africa. And we understand the writing, which is called the Sesh, which y'all call the hieroglyphs. So on the front of the shirt is a duck and a sun disk. And the duck represents the Sa. Sa means sun. And then you have the sun disk. That is Ra, the son of Ra. That is the logo on the front of the polo. So support this black-owned business. Circulate the dollar in your own community. Not only just around these so-called holidays, but just start doing it on a regular basis. Start doing it on a regular basis. Start practicing cooperative economics. And this is the website. All right. I just explained that I'm a group, and I said I'm going to keep going back from clothing, shoes, etc., etc. And Kwanzaa, I celebrate Kwanzaa. I don't celebrate Christmas. And on Kwanzaa, again, Kwanzaa, the last day of Kwanzaa, 7 days in Kwanzaa, December the 26th to January the 1st. The important Zawada gift is books. It is the most important thing that you give before you give any other gift. It's books. So this is a great Christmas gift as well as a great Kwanzaa. And we're having a Kwanzaa sale right now. And I am a part of this mighty group, the Seshuma Ani Metaneta, which means true or an aspiring scribes of divine words. And our specialty is in the language. We deal with the language. So we have a book right here where the group wrote called Has the Egyptian Hieroglyphs Writing Systems Been Deciphered? A Rebuttal by Walter Williams by the Seshuma Ani Metaneta. That is the group that I'm a part of. And I'm proud to be a part of this group because this group here, I don't care what group you go into. I don't care what group you look at on YouTube. I don't see a group out here like ours, what I mean practicing Iwa Pele. Iwa Pele means good character. And when you understand, because we are all African, and you understand African spirituality, because without African spirituality, you wouldn't even have these other religions that we so-called gravitate toward today. And these other religions are nothing but small fragments or fragmentations from what our ancestors created and other foreigners coming in and taking it and then creating their own, taking the fragments and creating their own with it. So, so when you understand how we practice good character, our systems is based on good character. So we practice good character. You're going to hear us all out of bounds and cussing and fussing on the YouTube channel because we have a YouTube channel. Go check out our YouTube channel, Seshuma Ani Metaneta. You can go to the website to get these books. We have a Kwanzaa sale. This here is the Simple Sesh Metaneta penmanship by my sister, who's also a part of the Seshuma Ani Metaneta group. She's the only female, but we're trying to welcome in more sisters into the group as well. She wrote a book called the book Seshu. Simple Sesh Metaneta penmanship is showing you how to get your penmanship down with writing the glyphs. You know what I'm saying? Then you have this is my Seba. Seba means teacher. So you can take his classes if you want to understand the Rani Kemet and the Sesh Metaneta. You can take his class. He offers classes online. This is the textbook for his class. I own both editions of these books. A beginner's course, Introduction of Metaneta, an ancient Egyptian hieroglyphic system. So these are great Kwanzaa gifts as well as Christmas gifts to put into your thing. And again, this is the website. You can pause it. Seshu. It used to be www.mdw/mtr.com, but now we have our Seba Wujak Irimaat changed it to the Seshu Metaneta.com, which is what's the name? And you can get all three good books for Kwanzaa at a discount. All right, here. I just showed you the book that the group that I wrote, the group that I was with, we wrote a book. Then I showed you my sister that's a part of the group. She wrote her own penmanship book. Then I showed you my Seba or my Saber book, which means teacher. I showed you his book, and he teaches the language, and his textbook if you want to take online classes. He has a clothing line, and this is the website, hekamedia.com apparel. And his wear is thinkwear. And all of what I'm showing you is connected to us. I haven't showed you anything that has a Marilyn Monroe shirt on it. Because we'll walk around here with a Marilyn Monroe shirt on. We'll walk around here with a Beatles shirt. We'll walk around with everybody else's culture, every idea from everybody else's culture. But we won't walk around with what defines us. We won't walk around with what our culture is about. We represent everybody else's culture, but we were ashamed to represent our culture. So he has things as others, as I showed with other people with their clothing lines. It's representing us, not somebody else's culture, but us. So he has a great shirt here for the females. He has the cradle of life. He has the African continent turned upside down, which may look for me a piece of Sin Satepin Ra, Mary Amen. Please, I always try to speak to people that's coming my feed, bro. So I'm sorry, I was trying to get it in and talk, but peace to Hotep Jesus to you, Satepin Ra, Mary Amen. That's my boy, and he's also a part of the session as well. And the guy that just put our link at the bottom, Ini Haret Shan Khalifia. He's a part of the session. My Ani Metaneta too. That's my Sinus. Sinus mean brothers. And he has the Ankh in the middle of it. The Ankh represents life. And as I explained on the previous video I did that was messed up. Now let me go back to the continent upside down. The way that our ancestors look at the orientation of the world or the continents was different than the way everybody else looked at the orientations of the continent. And if you want more information and expound, go back to the www.seshumetaneta.com and click on to the articles. And my Siba or my Seba, Wujal he has an article on this whole thing. Is the orientation supposed, the African continent, the symbol is supposed to be upside down and not the other way around. So go on our page and check out that article. And again, the Ankh is in the middle of it. The Ankh represents eternal life. And again, and a lot of people, all I wear, if you look at the jewelry that I got, all my jewelry has red, black, and green in it. And all my jewelry has the Ankh, or it has the Nasut Biddy heads, and et cetera, on them. I would rather wear something that represents life than death. And what I mean by death, I know a lot of us, and we don't understand exactly what the cross means. And when we talk about the cross, we relate the cross to Jesus and him being crucified. But the crucifixion or the cross, the two cross planks, those two cross planks is something that the Romans have done before he even came on the scene. They have been crucifying people through time immemorial. And that two pieces of wood that we call a cross plank, it represents death. Everybody that was hung on this cross or this two cross planks has died. So it represents death. So I'd rather wear the Ankh than the what's name. So do the research on it. Don't listen to what Brother Kofi Paisai is saying. Who am I? But do your own research and find out what I'm saying to be validated or not. Okay, we have another shirt here by the brother. It's called the Su Biddy. We know in North Africa, we know that the remich of the Kimatu did not, the language, we know the word king didn't exist. But if we're going to say king, they refer to it as the Nasut Biddy. And for those that understand the meta-nature, they understand I'm a part of this group, so I can read it. So when you look and you see the sedge plant, hold on. So this ain't something somebody telling me and saying this is the Nasut Biddy. Somebody ain't saying this is the Nasut Biddy. I know it because I can read it. So I see a sedge plant. I see a half a bread loaf up under the sedge plant. I see a bee and a sedge plant at the bottom. So I know this and I understand the symbols. So I understand that we apply different things to these symbols to get words. So I understand this is Nasut, and I understand this is Biti. So I know Nasut Biti means king or dual king. King of upper and lower Kemet, a king of Taimahu, a Tai Shamu, if we're going to use the proper vernacular of the language that the people spoke in that region. Here is another shirt, Ankh Life. Again, I love the Ankh because the Ankh represents eternal life. And we should be representing life because life is eternal. Straddle My Brain, nice shirt. Then the Nasut Biddy shirt, another shirt. This is the Jehuti shirt right here. So support my Seba or my Seba Wujal Iri Ma'at and his thinkware thing. So this is the website, hekamedia.com apparel, and it is thinkware, and it represents us, not nobody else's culture. It represents our culture. Learn about your culture. Love your culture. Respect your culture. Honor your ancestors. Practice cooperative economics. Ujamaa, 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 Ujamaa. This is another brother out of the group that I'm a part of, the Seshu Ma'adni Netcher group. And this brother is Jehuti. This is his store, the Jehuti store. He specializes in African-style wooden crafts. This brother is bad on the wood. Jehuti is, and I have a couple of pieces from the brother. I know y'all probably seen a couple of pieces. I don't war, because I got a lot of pieces, so I try to support everybody, you know what I'm saying, that look like me, that has a business, because I understand about cooperative economics and supporting people that look like us, because one day I'm going to want him to support me back. And I know what I gave him my money, it was an equal exchange. I didn't feel like it was robbed. I feel like what he got, I didn't give him enough. And we should feel like that. We should feel like we're not giving our people enough when we giving them money or this worthless piece of paper, which is finna crash here in a minute, and they're giving us something. So here is a piece, and I didn't put everything on here. I didn't put everybody's stuff on here. I just put a couple of pieces on each slide, and you can go to their website and go to their stores inside the shop, and you can look at everything that they have, and you can buy it from there. Yeah, it does. You said it looks seductive, Sister D. Straddle my brain. But here you have a piece here, the Ankh. You have a piece that you can hang up in your house. This is the Ankh. You have the Ujal, and you have the folding cloth, Ujal, Ankh, Ujal, Zaneb, Ankh, Ujal, Zaneb, peace, health, and prosperity. That and I ain't nobody telling me this. Nobody telling me this, because I can read the language. I can read the language, so I understand exactly what this means. Ain't nobody got to tell me what it means, because I understand exactly what this means, because I can read it. And a lot of us, if I ask you what your language is, you would tell me English. And then when I tell you to go look up the word English and tell me how long English been in existence, and then I tell you to see what word, who created English, and when you go and look, and it says the Jutes, the Angles, the Germans, and the Saxons, and it says Proto-European language. And I look at you, so you trying to tell me that you are European. So you telling me your language is a European language. That's crazy. So we have to start to gravitate back to our own culture and back to our own languages. And Africa has a multiplicity of languages and dialects on the continent. There's more than one language on the continent. And I don't know, it may be 4,500, it may be more than that languages on the continent of Africa. And again, Africa is not a country. It's a continent. It has about 53, 54 countries inside of it. Here is another piece you can hang up in the house, a nice carved piece. You have the Ankh necklaces representing the red, black, and green. So, you know, and again, like I said, you're going to always see me with some red, black, and green on all the time. People that know me, that see me, I'm always going to have some form of red, black, and green on me. He has rings. He make rings out of wood. And I didn't put all this stuff on here. So this piece here is from Ghana. And again, if you hadn't looked at my presentation that I did on the Akan people that's in West Africa, that's in Ghana, I talked about the Adrika symbols. This is one of the Adrika symbols that's in Ghana. And it's a divine symbol. When I talk about this symbol, I talk about how they put these Adrika symbols on their clothing during the funeral time at one point. So go back and look at that video on my timeline too. I have a PowerPoint just like this PowerPoint with full of information. So go back, look at the video, share the video on your page or any other group. Here is another piece. He has the Eye of Haru inside of it. And he has the sesh at the bottom of it. A nice piece to go around somebody's neck. Okay, and again, this is his, what's the name? Jehuti, the Jehuti store. This is by my brother. He's part of the Seshu Ma'ani Metaneta group. His name is Jehuti Ma'at. He's the owner. All right. Here is another brother. And it's not coincident because these are the people that I'm the people that I know, the people that are doing things, the black people that are doing things, that are producing stuff that we need to support, and we need to get ideals from them and see what motivates them to start producing things, so we can start producing things and start producing more things in our neighborhood, so we can start employing our own people, giving them a better wages, building up our own community, our own race, where our youth can start respecting us, because then we can start passing down generational wealth from one generation to the next generation, just like every other race is doing. But this is my brother Sin Damu his clothing line. He's the owner, Damian Evely, you know, and his is his website, www.ahaclothing.com. And again, these are great Christmas gifts. I'm giving y'all stuff to go support for the holidays. Support black-owned business, cooperative economics. Support each other. Build with each other. So this brother has some nice shirts, In My DNA, and he has the African continent, and he has the DNA in the middle of it, the helix in the middle of it. That's nice. Look at this shirt. My DNA, nice V-neck for your woman, and it represents us. It's not nobody else's culture. It's us. But we wear everybody else's clothing but our own clothing. And a lot of clothing we wear, the people say they didn't even make the clothing for black people. And we hear the statements. We hear the statements from all these fashions. But we say, but we get these fashions and it makes us feel good because we say we got Dolce and Gabbana. We got all these different things, and these white Europeans clothing lines, we supporting their businesses, and they don't give a damn about you, and they continue to make you rich, and we continue to make them rich, and then they make statements. They don't hide it. They make the statements and tell you they didn't make the clothing for you, but you still buy it, and we all on Facebook posting these things and stuff. It's crazy. That's insane to me. So we have to start supporting our own, and the stuff that we wear has to reflect us. Us. He has a nice hoodie. He has these other shirts right here. And again, I didn't put everything on these things. I just put certain pieces on here. So so you can go on the website and go into the shop thing, and you can shop and see the variety of things that they got. This is a good Christmas gift for those that still wrapped in Christmas. This is a good Kwanzaa gift for those that practice Kwanzaa. And again, give your gift on the last day, which is the money, the last day. There's a water on the last day, but you don't get it clothes and shoes and stuff first. You give books. That's the most important gift, is the books. Then you give all this other stuff. All right, this here is my brother. I played the song right earlier. Ashe, the red, black, and green. Ashe, right now for Black Power. So that's my favorite song. So just about every time that I go live, I'm sorry, I'm gonna play that song, or I'm gonna pay libations. I'm gonna play it. But this brother here, I respect this brother here. He's from Hattiesburg, but he stayed in Streetport now. And this young brother has his own business, Nubian Culture, LLC. And for anybody that's in the Streetport area, or anybody that's close to the area, go and support this brother. Go buy some gifts, bypass the mall, come straight to the Nubian Culture Center, LLC, and support this brother. This is his business, the Nubian Culture, LLC. He's standing right side. This is him in the inside of it. He has books. He has pictures. He has clothing. This brother has his own business, and he's giving back to his community. He set up something for his community. He's giving back. We need to expand our mind by books. We like to decorate our homes. We like to wear clothing, but he's got clothing that represents us. So go out and support this brother. It's 2007 B Cemetery Boulevard, Streetport, Louisiana 71104. Nubian Culture LLC /Facebook. NubianCultureCenter@gmail.com if you want to reach him. 318-2220-8718. The owner is Joshua Ashe. Also, support this brother. He's also a rapper. So, and everything in his music reflects us. Reflect us. Look at this. Look at here, libations. We know that is a tradition that comes from African people, that comes from people of color, libation. No matter what spiritual system you prescribe to or practice, it's always going to have the pouring of libations. Even with us running around here talking about God, God, God. God is a dramatic word that comes from the root word good of God. What does that mean? It means to pour, to invoke. It means to pour libations. So this guy, I done went to another slide, but so he has Sankofa. This song here, Sankofa. The song Sankofa. Sankofa means go back and retrieve your past. And in order for us to fix the conditions that we in, we must go back in the past to retrieve our past in order to fix the situation. That's another reason why we're in a situation we are, because we don't want to broaden our scope of knowledge and think only what we was taught or what we was heard, and we didn't verify nothing that was taught to us. So we didn't get no confirmation. We going off straight belief. We believe what somebody is telling us, and belief means surrendering or accepting something without facts, proof, and evidence. So we don't have no proof, no evidence, no facts of some of the stuff that's been taught to us, but we still around here running around with some of the stuff that's been taught to us. But in order for us to fix that or fix it, we have to Sankofa. We have to go back and retrieve our past. We can't fix anything if we don't find out how it was broke. So this brother Ashe, I played this Rise. He got the song Kwanzaa. I talked about Kwanzaa, and this presentation is follow up on Kwanzaa, because one of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa is Umanja, which is cooperative economics. I'm just tying it all in. So go back and look at the Kwanzaa. Then he had Ujamaa. Ujamaa means unity. We can't practice cooperative economics if we're not together, if we're not unified. I gave the word in Swahili, Habari, which means pulling together. And when you go back and you study Kwanzaa, you will see what we did. You will see how all these African clans, nations, tribes came together as a group, as a family, in unity. They poured everything they had together. They poured together, went out there and reaped. Went out there and reaped in the harvest. And then at the end of the year, in December 26th, they sat back and reaped the benefits from the harvest, from them pulling together, them unifying different countries that came together no matter what they believed or practiced in. They came together for one common God to make sure that their race is able to survive and sustain and have everything that they need, and not just one person, but everybody as a collective whole, as a whole community. So go support that brother. His stuff is on SoundCloud. You can inbox him too, or you can email him, or you can, if you're in the area, you can go to the Nubian Culture LLC in Streetport and you can get his CD. Get the CD. Great gifts. Great gift for Christmas. Great gift for Kwanzaa. Okay, African Art Gallery. This is another brick and mortar place. African Art Gallery, 800 North Ferris Street, Jackson, Mississippi. For those that are in this area, or in Jackson, or in the surrounding areas, and I have bought a lot of stuff out of this store. I used to, wasn't next close to Jackson, and I used to travel to Jackson all the time to support this black-owned business. And I have bought so much stuff out of here. And when I go, I don't go in there and spend $20, because what we do is, if we go in the store and try to support our own, this is what we do. How much that is? Brother, that's that right there gonna be $30. $30? Man, you crazy. So now you trying to bargain with me. But then when you go up into one of the Arab stores, you go up into one of these white people, the European stores, you go up in the Asian store, you go up in the Indian store, you ain't, when they tell you how much it is, you peeling back them dollars. You ain't negotiating with them. You ain't negotiating with them. You ain't trying to get something for nothing. You see? So we have to stop doing, when we do support, we got to stop. We got to get out of that mind frame too. So when I go down here, I don't go down there and pull out $20 and say, Even though if that's all you got, then spend that. But if you got more to spend because you go into other places, I know kids, I know right now for a fact that a lot of us in our households now for Christmas, I bet y'all got the Jordans up under the tree for your kids, done paid $150 for it. And you went in one of those European stores or one of them Arab stores or Indian stores, and you didn't tell them, I'm gonna give you $75 for them. Let me give you $65 for them. Man, that $150 too much. You ain't telling them that. You only do that when you come in the black community. And again, it's self-hate. Because we have taught to self-hate ourselves, so we don't even want to go support. And if we do want to support, we want to try to get over on our own kind. And this is why we're not. This is not why we're not getting what we need. This is why we in a state that we in our community. Our communities in shambles. This is why black people around the world don't own a damn thing anymore. This is why black people think that it's good to go get a damn job. Man, I got to get me a job. It's okay to do it, but get a job. But stop being subservient. Be an entrepreneur. Teach your kids how to be entrepreneurs. Where you can bring that entrepreneurship back in your own community and build these businesses in your own communities where your own community can thrive. Because I'm tired of walking around here and in our communities, the liquor stores is not owned by black people. They're owned by Arabs, whites, and Indians. The corner stores owned by whites, Arabs, and Indians in our community. These other different places that we take in recreational centers and stuff is not owned by us. We ought to be ashamed. But this is another place. I keep going on a tangent. I'm sorry, but this is another brick and mortar place. So if you in here, and these are some of the pictures I didn't put. This is the place here, the African Art Gallery in Jackson. These are some of the things that they sell. And right here, these are fly. These are fly. If you want to get you're trying to get some more backpacks for your kids, these will be the best thing. I mean, go and get these. This represents you. This represents your culture. And go back and look at my con presentation that I did the other week, and I talk about the kente cloth. I talk about these colors right here and the colors on these book bags, the kente cloth. I go into what these colors mean. I tell you who created the kente cloth. What part of Africa this region of this kente cloth come from. So go and check out my PowerPoint presentation on the Akan people. Here are some more, they do statues and all type of stuff. Here's my art right here. We know what my art represents: balance, harmony, reciprocity, order. All right. This is another brick and mortar place here. If you in the Hattiesburg region, this is another gift that you can give if you celebrate Christmas or if you celebrate Kwanzaa. For those that are retrieving their own tradition and celebrating Kwanzaa, this is a great gift for you to give as well as the other gifts that I talked about other ones. So go and support these black-owned businesses. This here is a brick and mortar place from Hattiesburg. It is at 305 Lakewood Loop, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, 39401. Happy Being Nappy LLC. You can go to the place, or you can go to the website right here and get your natural stuff from her. She sells all types of natural stuff. And we got to go back to the natural stuff. We are putting things that are in our head that is also causing us to have cancer. But we'll run around here when we get cancer and we'll blame it on the mythological character and say that the devil is busy. But it's you that's putting the chemicals in your damn head. Excuse my French, but you were putting the chemicals in your head. You were the one putting the chemicals on your face. So this is natural herbs. So she do all types of things here. So, and this is the owner, Carol McGee. So you can go and support her with her natural own herbs and creams for the skin, for the hair, for the scalp. She got stuff for toothaches that are natural. She got natural products. Natural. All right. This here is Queen Fee. And I think you still on here, Senate Sophie. I ain't forget about you neither, Queen. I didn't forget about you. So this is Queen Fee, Natural Hair Essential / Facebook. She has a Facebook page, so you can get with this sister on Facebook. She also has natural products. I own 2 of the natural products, and one of my favorite is the beard cream that she has. She has the Nubian beard oil, and I put it on my oil, and put it on my beard, and it make my beard, shiny. You know what I'm saying? Soft and makes it feel good. But she has a lot of different natural products that she deal with for the hair. She has moisturizers. She has stuff for the skin, for the scalp, stuff for your hair to grow. and etc. So look this sister up. I don't know if she have a website. I wanted to try to get with her before I put the slide together to see if she had a website. But if you have a website, send that Sophie. You can put your website in there. But if you don't, I have where they can contact you on Facebook. Queen Fee Natural Hair Essential Facebook. These are good products for Christmas. You know, get these products. Get these products. These are good Christmas stocking gifts as well as good Kwanzaa gifts. So look the sister up on Facebook, inbox her in a messenger box, and she can tell you what all she got, what all she's provide, and then you can go for there. Cooperative economics, family. All right. Again, I'm trying to hit all angles. So back to the books. And again, books are the most important thing when you practicing Kwanzaa. And Kwanzaa is not a black Christmas. Kwanzaa existed before the Christmas invention. I'm going to keep saying that. Kwanzaa existed before the invention of Christmas. And we call it Kwanzaa. We know that Dr. Maulana Karenga created Kwanzaa because he went back and he studied the ancient cultures, and he went and took those different cultures and brought it back, and then he modernized it a little bit. But it's an ancient culture, an ancient celebration that has been celebrated through time immemorial. So when the last day of Kwanzaa, you give Zawada, which is gifts. And the first and the most important gifts are books. And you give books, and we need to be the focus anyway. Because what they say, if you're going to hire something from a black man and a black woman, what you do? What you do? You put it in a book. And I go and meet brothers and sisters all the time and talk to them, and I see where they're at. I see where their intellectual capacity at. I see how far the scope of knowledge go and everything, and it's because of them not reading. And when you think of intelligence, you should think of black folks. But you don't. You think of Greeks and Romans because the school told you that the Greeks created civilization. And that's a lie. And I can prove it 5, 6, 7 different ways that the Greeks did not create civilizations. So these are great books for Kwanzaa. These are great books if you celebrate Christmas. And I own every last one of these books and have read every last one of these books. Great books for the family. Great learning. This is been all books about Asar Imhotep. And his website is www.asarmhotep.com. So go out and support this brother. Ujamaa, 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 which means cooperative economics. We have to start circulating the dollar in our community. We have to start supporting and buying black and stop going outside of our communities and supporting people that does not look like us. And if we do circulate the dollar in our neighborhood more than 6 damn hours before you send it out to other people. Because other races already, with the other slide I gave you the statistics of how many days the dollar bill circulated in the Jewish community before it go out. In the Arab community before it go out. In the Asian community that's here before it go out. In the Japanese island, I gave you the statistics. But when you talk about our statistics, we don't support each other. So these are great gifts for Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa, Kwanzaa. And I keep saying Kwanzaa because Kwanzaa has everything to do with us. If you are African descent, you should be celebrating this holiday. It is your tradition. It is your culture. Start back to claiming your own culture. But if you practice Christmas, I understand why, again, because we under psychological warfare and we are being attacked psychologically. I understand that we have adapted to someone else's culture and we have been taught to hate our own culture via the school and other different religions. I understand that. But we have to, it's no excuse for being not knowing no more. We have plethora of resources at our fingertips. My mama, my daddy, my great-great-grandma, they didn't have the resources that we have. They didn't have the internet where you can go on, which research ain't just Googling now. Because a lot of people, that's not correct method. What we call Tep Hesed. Tep Hesed, and in the Remish language in North Africa, it means correct method. So we have to understand what is correct method when we're trying to research. But we have the internet. There wasn't plethora of online bookstores. At one time, it was illegal for black people to read and write in the United States. So I understand that what my family taught me, they got it by mouth to ear, and they didn't go and verify a lot of things because they didn't have the resources that they had to prove what they were saying to actually be facts or false. So I understand that, but it's no excuses now. And these should be the most important gifts. That's why Kwanzaa, when you give it on the last day, it's the seventh day before you give any other gift. The books is the first thing that you give, and the most important gift out of all the other gifts, the shoes, the clothing, or whatever else you give. Okay, here is another thing. Black history flashcards. If you don't know about your own history, these are some of the flashcards that'll get you up there. You have the volume 1 here. You got volume 2 over here. You have ebook, I Love My Skin. And it's a youth book, but I think that we all should learn how to read. I mean, we should all get this book for those that celebrate Christmas and for those who celebrate Kwanzaa. And again, I keep specifying Kwanzaa on the last day, which is the 7th day, and it's not a Black Christmas. It's an African tradition that's been in existence through time immemorial before the invention of Christmas. And again, with Kwanzaa, we understand that it's about the mind first, and these other things are wasteless. Clothes and et cetera, et cetera. So we give those things, but we give books first. And this is a good book for the kids to have, not only the kids, but for the adults, because we have a lot of adults running around here that are bleaching their skin. The Creator created and gave us all what we call Euromelanin. This is what gives us this melanin skin. This is what makes our hair makes our hair kinky and woolly. And we run around here and call our hair nappy. Who told you your hair was nappy? The very people that kidnapped our ancestors and brought here and started giving us these different names and saying these different things, we have bought into the propaganda. So this is a good book to read, so you can understand you should love your skin, no matter, because black comes in all different shades. So we should love our skin. We should love our hair. We should love our own people. And again, it's nothing wrong with loving your own people first and then loving everybody else. You have to take care of home before you take care of everybody else. And every other race does that except the black community here. We want to love everybody else and first, and then we love ourselves last. That's why we mistreat each other. That's why the community is in shambles. So that's a good book. I love that's the Love My Skin. I went into Love My Hair. Because again, we have our women. This is a good book for the kids and adults, ebook, because we were around here and our women are around here straightening their hair. They around here straightening their hair. You don't see the European, you don't see the Italian, you don't see the Pakistani, you don't see the Indian, you don't see the Arab, you don't see the Japanese, you don't see the Chinese, you don't see the Asian around here trying to look like us. But we will go and get a relaxer that will burn our hair out and it has chemicals that is giving us cancer. But we hate our hair so much. The Creator created us like this, but we hate ourselves so much because we have been taught to subconsciously hate ourselves that we will go perm our hair to look like everybody else instead of looking like ourselves. So this is a great book to have for those that practice Christmas. And for those who gravitate back to the African tradition and practice Kwanzaa, which is from December the 26th to January the 1st. And I specify again, Kwanzaa is not a black Christmas. Kwanzaa is a African tradition. A celebration has been going on through time immemorial before the Christmas invention. So, and they have shirts, the Sankofa. I explained the Sankofa bird earlier about how we must go back and retrieve our past. We must find out who we are. We must understand our history. So this is the Sankofa bird. And in order for us to fix the conditions that we are in, we have to go back and retrieve our past to see what happened, and in order for us to correct the situations that we are in today. So go and support this black-owned business. Again, cooperative economics. Circulate the dollar bill in your community. Circulate the dollar bill in your community. Buy black. And it's nothing wrong with buying black first, because in one of the slides I showed you the slides and the statistics, and I showed you the different businesses that is tracking the black businesses and tracking every other race business that's in here, and every other race dollar bill is circulating so many days in their community before it goes out. But when I showed you the statistics for the Africans in America, or the blacks in America, or whatever you identify yourself with over here, it shows you that our dollar bill circulates 6 hours in our community. So time we get it, we spend it with somebody else that does not look like us. That's why we do not own anything. We have to learn to start back to building together. We have to unify. No matter what you believe in or what you practicing, it's separating us. We have to come together for one common goal. We all have a lot of things, commonalities. So we have to build on the commonality things in order for us to get out of the situation where we able to pass generational wealth down from one generation to the next generation, just like every other race is doing. All right, this is I think this is my last slide right here. This is from my sister Delia Darby. She's in the Hattiesburg area. She's Dazzling Deals by Delia. Her website is up here. Her number is 601-466-855. These are some of the things that she have. These are great accessories, because we know our women like to look good. The earrings, the bracelet, the necklaces, the toe rings, whatever. She has it all on her page. So either call her, go on her page and shop on her page, or inbox her directly on Facebook. These are everything that I gave you all black-owned businesses. So we have to learn what is cooperative economics. And this is why I named it Ujamaa, because Ujamaa is one of the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. And I had to give you all the 7 principles of the 7 values of Kwanzaa that we need to practice, not just on Kwanzaa, but every day in the black community. Because you can't activate cooperative economics in your own community and circulate the dollar in your own community if you don't have unity. If we don't have unity with each other, if we don't trust each other, if we don't love each other, you know darn well we're not gonna grasp the concept of cooperative economics. We got to be self-determined. We got to be determined that we're going to take care of and build ourselves up first, take care of ourselves first, and then we can go out and do business and et cetera, with other people and spend dollars with them. But we got to take care of home first. We got to understand about, again, about cooperative economics, about creativity. We have to bring our ideals to the table as a collective effort. It can't be about us as an individual, because the concept of individuality, again, comes from the European, the Wanzugu, or the Yorupu, or the Tamahu. It comes from them, and we understand that we are in, the perspective or the outlook that we have, what I mean by self-hate and, and things that we do to each other. We know we was taught this because via the Atlantic slave trade. Again, a lot of stuff that we do is plantation behavior. We are suffering from post-traumatic slavery disorder, and we are passing it from one generation to the next generation. The trauma that took place on those plantations, we are still passing it down from one generation to the next generation. This is why we are treating each other the way we were treating each other. This is why we don't support each other and come together in unity and pull together and pull our resources together and sit down at the table like every other race do. Sit down at the table and strategize and support and build the community. But we think that we are individuals because that concept of individuality comes from them. But your culture specified as tribalism. It specified as a community, as I talked about, as I have, we all have. So we have to have that concept. If I learn, we all learn. If I got, we all got. That's what the culture we come from. But we have become individuals, and we have become individualities, and then we have come where we don't even support one another. So go back and look at the video. Hold on. Again, this slide basically is what I keep saying. Support black businesses. Support black businesses. Support black businesses. Practice Ujamaa, 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 Ujamaa. That is cooperative economics in your own community. Practice it. Stop letting the dollar bill circulate 6 hours in your community and then it goes out. Stop. These are my references for the slides that I gave. For those that missed the beginning of the slides before I went into the slides of the black-owned businesses that you can go out and support, for those that celebrate Christmas or Christmas or Santa Maria, as I like to call it, the Santa Maria Festival. And for those that for those that have started to gravitate back to their own traditions and are practicing Kwanzaa, I gave, before I went into the cooperative economics, I gave the Hotep and Pool, peace, Brianna, peace, Brianna, peace, Bro Rodney, Goss. I always try to speak to everyone else. Peace, Steve Haynes, that came on. I spoke to everybody else. I try to speak to everybody that come on the live feed. So I normally, when I do my PowerPoint presentation, I have a plethora of references, but I only had about 6 slides before I went into the 18 slides of the Black-owned businesses that we can support for the Christmas holidays and for the Kwanzaa holidays that we can go and support. We can go support our own people, bypass going and making other rich people rich and go and supporting your own people. And maybe if we keep supporting each other, those people that has businesses can come in our community and teach us about economics and teach us about business and teach us about entrepreneur and maybe expand their businesses. And then they can able to give our kids better jobs and provide them better opportunities or teach them how to be entrepreneurs. That's what we need to do. Stop telling your kids to go to school, get a good education, and get a good job. Tell your kids to go to school, get a good education, and become an entrepreneur on your own. On your own. Everybody else is doing it but us. But I gave, my thing was I gave the stats of the different places that was tracking the statistics of the Black businesses and every other business in the United States. So I gave you the statistics of how long the dollar bill circulates in these people community. And I gave you the stats of how long the dollar bill circulates in the Black community. I gave you, and another thing, we are at the bottom, but we have the most powerful spending power. We as the poorest, because the Mexican and the Mexican and the the Latins, they are preceding us. We are at the last, and because we have $1.1 trillion of spending power, and I showed you a slide where I gave you an excerpt of one of the Jewish leaders was talking about Blacks don't know about economics. They don't understand about supporting your own race, buying from your own race first. So in the interview, he was talking about how other races and other communities, this is what they're doing, but the Blacks communities, they don't grasp this concept, but they have to support their own people first. They have to build their own people up first. They have to take care of home first and then take care of everybody else. You see, so I gave you what the $1.1 trillion we spend a year. I told you about tobacco. We spend $1 billion on tobacco. We spend $1 billion and tobacco on companies, on tobacco companies. We know that Black folks don't own nothing. So we know we're spending our money with people that don't look like us, with something that is dangerous to us. And we know it is dangerous to us. And again, we won't take accountability for what we are doing to ourselves, but we'll say the devil did it. I didn't do it, the devil did it. You'll put it out on a mythological character. You will say the devil did it. Instead of taking accountability for your own actions, you want to give it to you want to blame it on somebody else. And I gave you the statistics on the wine and the beer. What we spending $1 billion on wine and beer, toys and pets, stuff that tears up that's not worth anything. And it's not helping you, your child, or your community. So we're spending billions of dollars. So I didn't have a lot of slides because I only had like 6 slides of that, and then I had 18 slides for the business. So these are my sources here. And again, you can go and vet my sources. You can look through my sources because again, I am one that take all criticism. You can scrutinize my information. I'm one that I don't have a problem with you venting my sources out. I don't have a problem with you saying I left something out. I don't have a problem with you saying that wasn't correct. You know what I'm saying? But if it's not correct, I just ask that you point me in the right direction if it's not correct and give me the accurate information, because I'm going to do what I do tep his. And that's correct method. I'm going to do the correct method to find out what you're saying is actually to be true or false. So these are the small sources here that I had with the first 6 slides. This here is all the websites to the Black-owned businesses that I know y'all gonna go out and support during these so-called holidays around Christmas and Kwanzaa, December the 26th through January the 1st. Everything that I gave you books, I gave you shoes. I gave you hats. I gave you jackets. I gave you shirts. I gave you a jewelry. You know, I gave you items for the house. So all these things you can go and support. My daughter's going for entrepreneurship. That's good. Teach her to be an entrepreneur, Muhammad. Teach her to be an entrepreneur. Teach her that. We got to get out of this thing of go to school, get a good education, and then get a good job. We got to stop being subservient. We got to stop going and working for people where they giving us pennies, and then we're making them, we continue to make them wealth, where they continue to pass generational wealth down from one generation to the next, and we passing down debt from one generation to the next. So these are all the things. So you can pause it if you go back and look at it, and you can go and support these people, because those people that looked at this video from the beginning all the way to the end, those people are going to go and they understand cooperative economics. So them 6 sides I showed you, I had to show you the statistics and everything, so you won't say this coming from the Barris or this coming from Kofi Paisai. You know what I'm saying? I gave you the stats. I gave you the statistics. I gave you all those things. Then I explained what cooperative economics is. I explained to you the 7 principles. I explained that we don't implement those 7 principles or practice those 7 principles in our community, that cooperative economics is moot. It's null and void. It'll never happen. So these are the websites here. So go and support these brothers, these sisters. Put them up under your trees. Those that practice Christmas, put them, you know, give them out on January the 1st, which is Imani. But make sure you give the books, because I gave books. That is the most important gifts of all. It's the books, expanding your mind, learning. So in Kwanzaa, that is other gifts is really nothing. The most important gift is the books. So on Christmas, do the same thing for those that practice Christmas. Give your books. Get them some books too. Get them some books. Those books are going to go a long way. And even if you disagree with some of the books, I was talking to an individual today. People say you have to be careful with information. When you read books, I read books from all types and all walks of life. Whether I agree with them or I don't agree with them, I'm not biased. But all information is good information. I'm going to say it again. All information is good information. Because a lot of times when we talk to individuals and we talk to them, when they hear stuff that they never heard before, what I call foreign information, they reject it. And then they argue with you, and then they debate with you. And then when you ask them, why do you disagree with why do they disagree with what you're saying? Why are they debating you? Why are they getting so emotional? Why are they over talking you? Why is they getting aggressive with you? It's because they scope of knowledge is so small, and it's so much information out there. And I'm saying eat the fish and spit the bones out. That's what I'm saying. Eat the fish and spit the bones out. If a Muslim, I'm not a Muslim nor a Christian, but if a Christian come up and talk to me, because I was in that theology at one time, and I know more about it now since I left it, but I know a whole lot about it. So if I'm talking to individuals and they're using scriptures to try to use scriptures against me, I know it. And then I know it. So when I go to expounding on certain things, they look at me in a certain way. And then when I go to ask certain things about certain things, they don't know. If a Muslim come up and talk, but I'm saying I can have a conversation with them. I can have a conversation with a Muslim. If a Muslim come knock on my door, I can have a conversation with a Muslim. I'm not going to turn my back on a Muslim, especially I understand. This is something I understand. I'm not a fool. I understand that everybody on this plane of existence, what we call the physical world of the Ikule Aya in what I practice in the Yoruba culture, which is the visible world of the earth, of the physical plane. I understand everybody is not going to agree with everybody. So that's why I do not waste my time trying to argue, because I know that everybody's not going to agree with everybody. But I do know I'm not going to bash what you stand for or what you stand on, especially if it's making you a better person. If what I'm doing making me better and what you doing is making you better, even though it may be involved in somebody else's culture and you're turning your back on your own ancestors, or you forgetting about your own ancestors, that's where I have a problem at. Recognize your ancestral culture as well. You know what I'm saying? Recognize that culture as well. But anyway, I'm just saying we have to stop being biased. We have to study everything. And then when we disagree with somebody, go in while you disagree. Don't just disagree because you want to disagree because you never heard it before, or that ain't what you believe, or that ain't what you was brought up and taught with, and everything that was taught to us ain't the truth. Because again, everything that was taught to us was from mouth to ear, and again, it was illegal for black people to read and write. There was almost no resources for black people over here. So we had to go by what the master on the plantation told us. So this is where we get most of our information from. And then now that the youth and other people are starting to question and starting to re-educate themselves, everybody, the elders, and I'm not saying the elders, because again, elders and elders are two different things. And I don't respect the elders. I respect my elders. So the elders are having a problem with the generation that came after them and the generation after them, because they are starting to buy books. They are starting to read. They are starting to ask questions. They are starting to use the left side of the brain, which is logic, analytic, or analyzing information and data. They are starting to learn how to do what we call tep hesed, which is the correct method of researching, because there are different steps to researching. And again, just going and Google something, like some of us do go Google, and then we'll post something right after we read it for an hour, like we versed in the information, and we didn't do comparative studies. And what I mean by comparative studies, if we done read a plethora of information, whether it was biased or whether it was unbiased, whether it was people who look like us or people that don't look like us. So we compare the information. Then we come up with what the consensus say in the information. What do the consensus agree on with the people that went out there with the resources, that did the research and stuff, that went and excavated the land? You know what I'm saying? That did different sorts of testing. So we are all doing those things, and the elders are getting mad and upset. The elders are getting mad and upset because now we are trying to retrieve our own culture. We tired of celebrating somebody else's culture, because again, we talk about laws, but we know that when something is innate in us. We know when something wrong. I know when I do something wrong to somebody. I ain't got to go look at the law and say, thou shalt not steal. I know stealing is wrong. Nobody have to tell me that, because I feel it inside. It's innate in us. I'm going on a tangent, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm going on a tangent, and I ain't want to go there. Let me stop and digress. This is the brick and mortar places that I had, and I'm finna get off of here. Appreciate everybody that came and tuned along too. This is the brick and mortar places in the context. The Nubian culture by my brother Joshua Ashe that I showed you, the young brother that owned his own business, and the rapper with the music that I played earlier. This is his business. You can go support him. He has books. He has clothing. He has decorations for the home. He has jewelry and etc. African Art Gallery. If you're in Jackson, go support this place. They had the same thing. His brother had. The sister that in Hattiesburg, she owned the natural herb places. So I just wanted to give these things too, because I gave the websites, and I wanted to give the businesses addresses to the brick and mortar places that I that I had. So I'm finna get up off of here. I want to say du'a'u, which means thank you or thank you very much, or I want to say modupe, which means thank you as well. For those who all tuned in, y'all could have been doing something else, but y'all tuned in to watch my presentation. I try to be a man of my word. The last presentation I did with this was yesterday. It was messed up, so I went back and I redone it. And my saying, like I always say, as I learn, we all learn. So I'm going to share it. I'm going to always share. I'm going to share information, but I'm going to keep coming back on here, whether you like it or not. I'm going to keep doing these PowerPoints. I'm going to keep putting them up. And for those that hadn't looked at none of my PowerPoints, go back and look at some of my PowerPoints. I have a lot of different PowerPoints up there. So go and look at my PowerPoints. Go and support some of my brothers that's doing some things that has their own businesses that I show also on here. That is a part of the group that I'm a part of. Implement in your gift shopping today during your holidays. Make sure you buy books. Go and buy books. Get the gifts, but get the books. Make sure you get some books. Get some books. Make sure it's some books that's going to resonate with your kids. And on that note, I want to say Dua Dua'u Aku, which is I praise and honor the ancestors, or Igun Majube Iba'i, Igungun Kiki Igungun, which is also the same. I give homage and reverence to the ancestors. I praise the ancestors. Because again, we wouldn't be here without the ancestors, literally. We wouldn't be here without our ancestors. We are our ancestors. Let me say that again. We are our ancestors. That's why life is eternal. My granddaddy is still here. My granddaddy lives through me when you understand DNA. My brother that has the Aha clothing, the warrior clothing, he has in my DNA, and he has the African symbol on there. So he's talking about the DNA. He's talking about the blood. We are our ancestors. And when you understand DNA, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. As I said before, when you go get a DNA test, the test is what? 99.9, right? So you are 33.3% of yourself. You was 33.3%, 33.3% of your mother. You was 33.3% of your father. I am my father. If I stand beside my father, you will say we look just like twins. I am my father. The same characteristics that my father have, I have. My father is I say he's a teacher because he teach information. He's a preacher. We may not agree on everything, but we'll agree on some things, and I can go talk to my daddy, even though I don't practice what he practices, and I love my dad for that. So I am my dad. I am my mother. So when my dad leave her and go into the Agungun, which is the ancestral realm, or go into the Ikule Oya, which is the invisible realm or the heavens, he will still be here. Life is eternal. But on that note, I want to say Shem Imhotep, which means go in peace or depart in peace. I want us all to depart in peace, family. I'm out. See y'all the next time.